establishing values, is everybody's home inspected on an annual basis?
No, even if we increase the property, we do not necessarily get into every home, physically get into every home every year. We do what is called market updates because we have the physical characteristics of each property on our CAMA system. We're able to still compare those properties with sales, which we receive from the state, and then we compare the like properties.
So every house that's sold in Dickinson is reported to the state, and then they give you some information on it?
That's correct. That's correct. They give us a form showing what that property sold for. It is confidential. We are not able to disclose that information, but we use it for our purposes of the sales ratio study.
So you can't release that sales information to anybody else?
No, we cannot.
Okay. And then does the state require you to be within a certain percentage of assessed value, or can we lag behind? Like we established earlier, we're a growing community, so values are increasing. Can we just, if we want to keep property taxes low, can we stay at 85% of market? Or
no, we actually are required to assess at 100% of market value. But when you do a mass appraisal, the state has allowed us, just recently they changed it. They do allow us a 5% tolerance. So from 95 to 100% is where we have to be in to meet that requirement.
Oftentimes most people think that your assessment means it has a direct reflection on property taxes. Is that the case?
No, it is not. The true and full value we come up with obviously is a trigger to create the property tax. However, that involves the mill levy and the taxable value, and it's a formula that we use to arrive at tax dollars. If our valuations go up a certain percentage, it depends on what the mill levy does and the taxing entities do with their budgeting dollars, because that can also reflect or reduce that it may not show an increase. So it does not necessarily mean it will be an increase.
Are businesses taxed the same as residential properties in town?
The commercial properties have a 10% level of assessment within our formula. If, for example, just a $100,000 property, the formula to arrive at your tax dollars, you take that times half of that, 50%, and then for residential it's a 9% level, and commercial it's a 10% level. And then you arrive at that taxable value, which then you take times your current mill levy rate, and that will give you an estimated tax dollar.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I have appreciated your information today, and I want to know, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the citizens of Dickinson about the upcoming equalization process or the assessment process as a whole that I may not have asked?
No, I think we pretty much have covered everything. Like I said, if anybody would have questions, please feel free to call. We're more than willing to help you with those questions, and because there's a multitude of information out there. Like I said, there's exemptions, there's homestead credits for elderly, disabled persons. So to actually get us to get access to that, sometimes I think people aren't aware of this, but hopefully we can touch as many people that qualify for that.
Maybe I can ask just one follow-up question. You mentioned homestead credits, and some people may not be aware of what those are. Can you talk about homestead credits a little bit?
Homestead credits are for the elderly. If they're 65 years of age or older and they meet certain income requirements, then they get a percentage of their tax dollars relieved, and that's based on a sliding scale. The the minimum income requirement that needs to be met now is $26,000, and that's net income because they're able to deduct medical expenses that they have to pay out from that. So that the state has increased that over the last couple of years, and that has helped a lot of more people file for that.
Are there any incentive for veterans?
There is a veterans exemption. There's a service-connected disability, and depending on the percentage of service-connected disability, that portion is taken off the residential structure.
Is it income tested at all?
Not the service the service connected is not.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, wonderful. Jan, I really appreciate your time today on Discussions in Dickinson. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes our show for today, the Discussions in Dickinson, and I just wanted to take a moment to remind you all that April is Census Month. If you've received your census form, please make sure that you return that as soon as possible. This is such an important tool for the City of Dickinson and the surrounding area to receive funding from the federal and state level to make sure that our representation in our state legislature and our federal government is secure, and that it has a true representation of our population, which is used by agencies and businesses who are considering locating to our community. So please send that census form as soon as you can, and join us next month on Discussions in Dickinson.